So we just saw the release of the Mario Red and Blue Switch. It's awesome. I didn't get my hands on that one, but it is very cool. All red, looks really great. Coming up in March, we're getting the Monster Hunter Switch. Also looks fantastic. But now we have another piece of new hardware coming along, but not till July. And it's obviously something that I am very, very excited about. The Skyward Sword Joy-Cons that will be releasing right alongside of the game. But that is what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the release of these Joy-Cons all the way into July and what that might mean for the future and our hopes of a Switch Pro. What's up, guys? Welcome back, or welcome in for the first time. If you are new here, do me a favor, jump down in the description, click the link to our Discord. We are in there every day talking about all kinds of stuff. So click that link and we will see you there after this video. So Switch Pro rumors have been flying around for a while, and there's a lot of stuff to back them up. Leaks from manufacturers, stuff that data miners have found inside of the Switch, pointing to another Switch system that we have not seen yet. So there's a lot of things pointing to a new Switch coming out sometime, probably soon. Well, maybe soon. Who knows at this point? We've got a little wrench in the gears of the whole Switch Pro thing going on here, and I'm still someone who thinks the Switch Pro is coming out this year for sure, probably sometime soon. But again, these Joy-Con being released when they are really just makes me think lots of things, and we're gonna go over all that in this video. I have a few scenarios I wanna go over here, but first, let's go back and kind of look at a few things here that kind of set this up. So back towards the end of 2020, we started hearing rumors, and it was actually a little bit before that. We were hearing rumors about the Switch Pro and how this thing might be coming out pretty early in 2021. Now, as we can see, as I just said, we have two other Switch models coming out. One just released, one's coming out in March. So we're not gonna be getting a Switch Pro or an announcement for one anytime soon. Makes no sense for Nintendo to do that at all, and they've gone on record saying, when asked, they are not ready to announce anything new as of right now because of those two other Switch systems, which is a completely different thing than they said the last time they were asked about that. They said straight up, no new hardware in 2020, and we got no new hardware in 2020. So hearing all that, like I said, it makes you think, okay, a Switch Pro is coming very soon. And at that point, I thought, okay, these two Switch systems will be released, and then maybe a few months later, maybe they'll start talking about the Switch Pro. Maybe we'll get a reveal and then it'll come out a few months later. But these new Joy-Con have me wondering if that's going to happen now. All the rumors last year were that this thing was coming out in the early part of 2021, which could still happen. But we're gonna have to go on two separate roads here to figure out exactly what these Joy-Cons mean, and I think one of the possibilities here might end up being bad. So the first question you obviously have to ask here is, if these Joy-Cons are coming out in July, does that mean this Switch Pro or whatever it is, does that mean this thing is going to be announced after that? August, September, even further? I think that's a possibility. But then again, maybe not. Here's the issue with that. If you put a brand new set of Joy-Cons out, depending on how limited they are, maybe they're not that limited. Maybe they are. We just don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to put a new product out like that and try to get people to buy that for their Nintendo Switch when you're about to turn around and just make a whole new Switch, unless these Joy-Cons will fit on the new Switch. And let's go ahead and jump down that rabbit hole for a second, because I think there's two paths we can take here. Now, the first one I want to talk about is possible. I hope this is not the case, but what if this Switch Pro just takes the same Joy-Cons? What if they didn't change anything about these Joy-Cons? Everything about the Switch Pro is all inside the tablet. Because a lot of people think when you hear, Switch Pro, that it's gonna be something crazy. It's gonna be something completely different, like a Switch 2, but it's not. That's not where Nintendo's going with this. Yes, people are talking about 4K. People are talking about more power, but this is still supposed to be just a revision of the Switch. So it is very possible that the same Joy-Con controllers that we are using now will be the same Joy-Con controllers that we will be using on this new Switch. The problem with that is, if they're not gonna change anything about it, that means we're still gonna have these sticks on the new Joy-Cons that have drifting issues. That is not going to go over well at all. That is going to cause such a controversy. I am just not sure if Nintendo will actually go through with that. With everything that's going on with the class action lawsuit, I just don't know if Nintendo is actually going to do that. But here's another scenario. What if these Skyward Sword Joy-Cons are Nintendo Switch Pro ready or compatible with both? Maybe they are the new version, and there are some things different inside of those Joy-Con controllers that do fix the drift issue. We just don't know about it yet. Now, as we know, they put out the Switch Lite with the same exact sticks. They have the same problem that the ones in the Joy-Cons have. I think at that point it was a little bit too late to go ahead and change those things out at the time. I think the manufacturing had started. Things had already gone too far to just change the sticks out at that point. But now it's definitely been long enough to where they could probably figure out how to fix the problem and replace the stick. So I would really hate to see Nintendo just put out a new Joy-Con that is totally compatible with the new Switch, but they have the same exact stick. Now again, these Skyward Sword Joy-Con could just be regular Joy-Con. This could be, you know, the last set we get before the new Switch comes. Totally possible. But it does make me wonder which way they will go with this. Are we going to see a complete revision of the Joy-Con for the Switch Pro or new Switch, whatever we're gonna call it? Because yes, saying Switch Pro makes it sound like it's going to be something completely different. This is still going to use a lot of the same stuff, I'm sure. Upgraded here and there. I think looking at all this, hearing what they said about those two Switch systems, seeing these Joy-Con, I think we are looking at a situation where the information that we got on the Switch Pro last year saying it was coming out at the beginning of 2020 is not wrong, but just inaccurate at this point. I think plans may have changed. Seeing hardware that's, at least on the surface, clearly made for the Switch we have right now shows me that Nintendo's not gonna be releasing this Switch Pro anytime soon. And if we look at the Switch and the way that these consoles have been released, they're released with Zelda games. Maybe originally, Breath of the Wild 2 was supposed to come out in March of this year. With the pandemic, things changed. The Switch Pro was gonna come out alongside of that. Maybe both of those things have just been moved back to the holiday. I think that's a very good possibility. Obviously, we don't know yet, but I think when you look at the whole picture here, that does make a lot of sense. I am starting to hear a lot of people talk about the fact that Breath of the Wild 2 might be a 2022 game. Still in the 35th anniversary time period, kind of like the way that Mario's kind of spilled over into this year, which I don't know yet. I'm sure I'm gonna make a video about all that as we get a little bit closer. But I think the most probable thing that we are looking at here is that this Switch Pro has been moved back to more of a holiday thing. Not saying the rumors are wrong or fake or whatever. I'm just saying maybe things have changed internally and any information that these people are getting just hasn't been revealed to anyone else yet. Who knows, you could be seeing this video 2 months after I put it out and we already have new information saying that, yeah, it's probably coming later in the year. Or maybe Nintendo's already announced it and this is completely wrong. But the Joy-Cons did make me wonder. I was very curious about that, and I'm actually also very curious about what you guys think about all this. The Joy-Cons coming out. Does it mean the Switch Pro is moved back? Do you think these Joy-Con will work on the next Switch? Not the Switch 2, I'm talking about the Switch Pro, new Switch, whatever this revision is we're getting. Will these Joy-Con work on that? Let me know in the comments below. But guys, that is gonna do it for this video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, make sure you are subscribed, and we'll see you in the next one.